Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It is hump day. Good to be back with you guys for another broadcast. I appreciate you all joining, especially those of you guys watching live. Here for the pre-show, the roll call. So jump into chat wherever you're at, and we'll say hi to as many of you as we can before the top of the 4 o'clock hour when we play the intro and officially get the show underway. That's right. This isn't the show. This is the pre-show, right? Not to be confused. Anyway, Q-Boys, Lino Vincent, Truth Teller 101, Paula C. in Mesa, and Lucy Anders out there. What's up, guys? Good to be with you. Hey, Powdered Sugar. Another one jumping in over there in the mosh pit on D Live. Welcome, you guys over there. Get rowdy. We're over on Rumble as well. Shout out to those of you guys watching on Rumble. Please hit that thumbs up button on your way in. Joe Elaine, keeping the chat nice and comfy. Thank you, Joe. Liberty's Great Awakening. PNW Sasquatch. Good to see you guys over on Rumble. Shout out to the Cloud Hub Odyssey and Twitter viewers out there, YouTube as well, for as long as they allow us. I'm surprised. We've actually done a little bit of time on YouTube here, and we've only gotten 2 community strikes since we've tried to come back. And they've both been from Saturday morning chats. I think the Collins have gotten us, but who knows? Anyway, shout out to you guys. You all don't get individual call outs, but I do appreciate you all tuning in and being part of at least the first hour of the show. And of course, we're in the comfy bunker on pilled.net, the only place, the exclusive place for the second half of today's broadcast, of every broadcast. If you want to watch that 5 o'clock hour, you have to come on over to pilled.net. So if you're over there, jump in, say hello. Let's see who's all in the comfy bunker this afternoon on this beautiful hump day here in Pittsburgh. Joe Elaine in there first. Again, Joe, thank you for all you do, modding the chat. Floyd, due diligence, right behind her. What's up, Floyd? Happy Wednesday, sir. Lance, Lightsphere, what's good, buddy? How are we today? Delia in the house as well. What's up, Delia? Patriot 714, welcome. HL Paco. Great to see you, my friend. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Floyd with a happy hump day cookie. Thank you for the cookie, Floyd. I really appreciate you kicking off the gold pills today. What's up, Fazik? How are you? Good to see you out there. Barb Robbins in the house as well. What's up, Barb? Laura Y repping the 412 says, I'm ready, set while driving home. Drive safely, Laura. Eyes on the road. We don't need you to get into a fender bender trying to post a sticker or something like that. Truth Teller 101, welcome. Good to see you. Brian 1871, Dog Nuts 10, Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. What's up, buddy? Mama Bear Patriot, Running Patriot. What's up, guys? Good to be with both of you. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Hope you're having a good one. 2A Freedom Rider, repping the 412. Let's go, buddy. Good to see you. Hang 10, Alien Surfer, Norm. How are you, man? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Also, R. Harold in the house. Good to see you, Harold. Snow Bunny 68, Cynthia, Tweety 52, Paula Sin Mesa, double dipping today in the comfy bunker as well. What's up? Glass Wanda, Sig your Dragon Slayers out there. Is that Smash Memes? What's up, Ashley? Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good one. Callie 135 in the house. Casey Powwow, good to see you. Christine in Texas. Good to see you, Christine. Pip's mom checking in from across the pond in Wales, UK. What's up, Pip? Hope you're having a good one. PNW Sasquatch also double dipping a few different places. Love to see it. Boys Blanc, thank you so much for the cookie. Let's see. Callie Patriot 14, welcome. Good to see you. Eagle Freedom, Mad Joker, Michelle Shell, Cap 1Q. Good to see Q Hio 17 out there as well. There's Packers 412, Lyle and Jenny hanging out with us today. Good to see you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. 315, Russ, the legend in the house. What up, Russ? How you doing, man? Smash Memes dropping a cookie. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate all the pre-show cookie love coming through. Gonzo Rules hooking us up with a cookie as well. Thank you, Gonzo. Much appreciated. Jeff Den checking in from Canada. I didn't know Jeff Den was from Canada. Good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in from above the border. Spiky999, how are you? Stevus66 out there as well. DX in the house. What's going on, my friend? Ohio Kimmy, cheers and thank you for the can. I appreciate it. And we got bassist LV says, hey from Vegas. LV, well, I guess that's Las Vegas, isn't it? Hope you're enjoying that Vegas weather. It's probably much nicer there than it is here. Cisco Kid, what's up, Cisco Kid? Mountain Lace, good to see you as well. 55 here and on the deck. Yeah, there's like a little warm streak rolling through the country, I feel like. So not going to complain about that. Facts Not Fear, good to see you out there as well. I see Bop-O-Matic over on Rumble. Do I trim my own beard? I keep the lines, right? I keep the lines myself, but as far as like the length of it, when it starts getting unruly, I just go down to the barbershop down the street, have them just do the whole fade, the beard, the hair all at once every month. I don't mess with the trimmer. Like I said, I just use a razor to do the lines. So yes and no, I guess. Zenit, what's going on? Sleighbells 72, good to see you. And I'll pop over here one more time. Imperial J2, Silebor, Biden Suck Stuff, Angel Fire. What's up, guys, over on D-Live? We are at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. What's up, Liana? How you doing today? That means it's time to get this show on the road. So if I didn't get to you, if I didn't read your name, I apologize. It wasn't intentional, but we got to get this going. So we'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. We addicted, the MSM, and now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Our hero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons, don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replace crazy with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only incentivized to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight to the song.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
All right, welcome everybody and happy Wednesday. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon for another broadcast here on 412 Productions. My name is Adol Nero. It is January 31st, 2024. We are wrapping up the month. We are halfway through the week, and we've got a loaded broadcast for you guys today. Joining me is my OG, Mr. Tennessee Homesteader, going to be riding shotgun for the next couple of hours. TN, oh, he is here. All right, I wasn't sure if he'd be back.
I'm back.
He's back. You can tell he's a lot of breath. He did a lap around his house. He's back in the saddle here. What's up, TN? Happy Wednesday, man.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're past the hump, huh? Right. So yeah. It's another interesting week brewing.
Yes, sir.
All the stuff that's going on, right? Did you see that? It was kind of funny because yesterday we were talking about the comedy act of E. Jean Carroll, right?
Oh yeah.
And we were not the only ones that picked up on that.
Yeah.
I posted,
Yeah. Let me grab that clip from Megyn Kelly since I don't know if Pinata's joining us today. I saw he went live at like 3:30. Is he still live? Oh no, he's out, so he might actually be jumping in. But anyway,
right. Well, then let's wait until he's here to play it.
Okay, we'll wait until he's here. But
I found that humorous. Not humorous in the sense of it's like we're on the cutting edge, man. We are the news.
we are, yeah, we are the. But I mean, I can't imagine that was too unique of a take. I mean, it was so over the top. It was so.
No, I know, but to make it sort of mainstream, right? That's what I'm saying is to make it mainstream type of thing, because it's also the cringy nature of not only what E. Jean Carroll, but you can see the cringe in her attorneys and Mad Cow, because Mad Cow was not exactly. Even though she was making light of it, you could tell there wasn't light of it. But anyway.
Yeah. No, actually, Pinata is still live. So we'll play the clip before.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll play the clip before. I gotta find it again. You don't happen to have it. No, here we go. I got it. Never mind. Let me just move this over to my laptop real quick. Just bear with me for a second, guys. Little show production on the fly, and you guys know production is my strong suit here. I do such a great job. Is this the clip here? There's like 4 different videos here on this article. I don't know.
Well, let me go ahead and do the sponsors, and then I'll track it down.
All right, that works for me. Yeah, like I said, production is my strong point, right? All right, let's get into the sponsors. We have one sponsor, a sponsor that you guys all know very well at this point. And that's our very good friend Jolene up in Montana and her company, Earth Garden Botanicals, earthgardenbotanicals.com. It's an amazing company up in the Northwest. They make wellness products that are absolutely fantastic. The newest one is the white pine needle extract. This one's inspired by Tennessee Homesteader, who's been inspiring quite a few products from our sponsors lately. No surprise there, but it's basically a concentrated version of the pine needle tea that Jolene sells. We'll talk about that in a second, but it's really great for a good detox. And when I was sick a few weeks ago, I was using this stuff, and I think it really helped, along with some of the other things like the elderberry tonic, the fire cider. I was really appreciative to have Jolene's products at hand to help get me through that sickness a few weeks ago. There's a great CBD and hemp products too, like the CBD oil tinctures. Amazing flavors. All the ingredients are locally grown on small organic Montana farms, which is super cool. Flavors like orange ginger bergamot, peppermint cherry, huckleberry, even the unflavored is really, really tasty. If you don't mind the taste of hemp, I mean, it's just so pure. You could tell it's made without anything bad in there. There's a CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies to give you a good night's sleep, and a topical cream for your sore joints and muscles. You can get that with or without CBD infused. It's an arnica salve. It's fantastic. I mentioned the teas. There's 4 of them here. If you're a tea drinker, you really can't go wrong with any of them. Of course, the sunshine and pine needle tea that I mentioned, serenity to keep you calm, and a couple others as well. And of course, the critter juice too. The critter juice keeping those insects and mosquitoes away. It does a fantastic job. Those of you guys down south not dealing with the winter months like we are up here probably still need some critter juice. So load up, keep those pesky bugs out away from you. All these great products are available for 10% off when you use promo code 412 at checkout. So go check out Earth Garden Botanical. Say hi to Jolene and use that promo code 412. Let her know that you're part of the fam because she absolutely adores you guys and loves hearing from you all. So that is our one and only sponsor for today's show. Tien, were you able to track that down?
Not quite yet, not the video part, because it's like you said, there's a bunch of links in there. But give me a second, keep going, and then I'll
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even know how necessary it really is to play the video, but essentially what she's saying is the same thing that we are. If you look at the headline of the article, it is Megyn Kelly says Rachel Maddow joking with E. Jean Carroll could win Trump the election. And I'll just say this. I completely agree with that. Them sitting up there on their elitist tower, mocking mocking Donald Trump essentially for being scammed, not scammed, but just put in a completely unfair situation, a bogus claim in a bogus court by a bogus judge and a bogus jury. No due process, no real justice, being forced to pay $83 million. For those of you guys that didn't see the clip yesterday, they're sitting there joking. E. Jean Carroll's telling Rachel Maddow she'll take her shopping, buy her a new wardrobe, take her fishing in the south of France or something like that. They're laughing, having a good old time about this, and it's really disgusting to watch. And I think the average person out there, that everyone to the right of complete TDS is going to look at that and be incredibly disgusted and turned off. So we were talking about that yesterday for quite a while, and we were talking about it yesterday for quite a while, and then Megyn Kelly, I guess, also had very, very similar thoughts on this situation, and I would agree. I would agree. People don't like the elitism. People don't like being talked down to. People don't like the mockery, and it was a really, really bad look. It was a really, really bad look because it showed how disingenuous and crazy E. Jean Carroll is, and I think it took a lot of whatever goodwill that they might have won through this court case, whatever goodwill there was, they threw it right in the dumpster and lit it on fire. And that what was it, like a 90-second clip? So Megyn Kelly picked up on it as well, and I'm sure there's other mainstream outlets that saw that and probably made comment too. But anyway, like I said, I don't unless you have it ready right now, Tien. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. No.
Yeah, because it's basically repeating what we already said about it, right?
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
Look.
Yeah. And you could tell how even though Mad Cow was laughing at first, but then after a while you could see it in her face. It was like, okay, it kind of reminded me of the Nutty Professor. When Skinny Nutty Professor goes in and sees the show, and I don't know if you ever saw the movie, but it's a comedy act. and
I've
it's
seen
actually
I've seen the Eddie Murphy one where it's Dave
yes.
Chappelle. Yes.
Where it's berating people, the comedy act is berating people, and after a while it just becomes cringy because it's like too much berating,
Yeah.
right? That's what it reminded me of because it's like, okay, I'm watching Mad Cow. It's like, okay, it's a joke. Okay, it's too far, too much, and then it becomes like, oh shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but that might be one of the very first like Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
role
It was
cameo.
Dave Chappelle, the comedian. Was the comedian that his entire shtick on the movie is berating people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I think I don't know if that was his first. I'm sure there was other stuff he was in before that, but yeah, that was that was good. Um, all right. I want to start today with a little clip from the Joe Rogan podcast from a few days ago. He's talking with another comedian who is also a lefty, or are they? There's major headway being made. Stuff
I
like
think they're more on the libertarian side now than they were, because I
it's
think he even says, "I was a big time lefty. I'm not quite right, but
they don't want to say they're right, but like them even saying
yeah."
this is telling you like we're not voting for for Democrats.
That's why I'm leaning towards libertarian, because libertarian tends to be right of center on some things, left of center on usually
Yeah,
social stuff, right?
yeah, usually, yeah, fiscally, people are conservative, and socially, people are more left leaning. Although,
Yeah, they're
that
not all the way off the edge, cliff type left, but yes, correct.
exactly. But anyway, listen to this conversation. I'm sure some of you have seen this already. It's been floating around the internet for about 48 hours. I wanted to cover it yesterday. We just didn't have time, so we're going to lead off today with this. And then we'll get into more newsy stuff. But I like these. More conversational pieces that aren't just straight news. I feel like they're important to keep our finger on the pulse of as well, especially someone as big as Joe Rogan, who has such a massive audience, such massive influence. People want to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and that nonsense. They completely forget about the groundswell of major influencers like Joe Rogan or Russell Brand, who I don't agree with everything these people say necessarily, but they're waking up themselves. They're seeing more and more. They're getting fed up, and they're bringing that onto their platforms slowly but surely at the perfect time. And I think that these are the type of people that are going to essentially help us win out, because, well, they have more interesting things to say than a Taylor Swift or a Travis Kelce. So anyway, take a listen. This is pretty good.
Austin people are great people. They're really nice. They're nice. They're not shitheads. They're not Hollywood people. They're not lost in this fake world of leftist ideology that everybody's trapped in. They're just people. They're just regular people, man. And those people exist outside of these blue bubbles where everyone's gone insane. Well, I used to be a part of the blue bubble. I was 100% a left-leaning person who lived in Los Angeles. I was 100%. I never voted Republican my whole life. I was very left-leaning, especially with like any social issues. When it comes to financial things, I'm a little bit more conservative, but at the end of the day, I'm way more left than I am right. But California went nuts, man. It's gone like full communist. It's out of its fucking mind. And their approach to law enforcement is so insane. It's so insane. The no cash bail, the letting people out for committing violent crimes, the fucking not stopping people for stealing up to whatever money it is. What is it, $900 now? I think they raised it. I think they made it a little higher. San Francisco is non-existent. Most of San Francisco is emptied out of like big chain stores and big department stores. Because
I wouldn't even do stand-up there anymore.
It's crazy.
They ruined it.
They ruined the city.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can bring it back. The structure's still there. But
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
have to have some hardcore Rudy Giuliani type motherfucker to come in there and knock heads.
Wow.
And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. They're peace, love, and granola and fucking wear a mask.
I'm in the middle now.
I'm in the middle.
I never thought I would ever say that.
Never.
It only happened in this last year.
Right. Exactly.
I just went, I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? People that you thought were aligned with you are like now like mad at you about shit.
They're in a cult. They're in a cult. It's got all. I mean, Mark Andreessen, who's a brilliant venture capitalist guy, explained it to me in very clear terms, like what the definition of a cult is, how you can get excommunicated, how you get shamed for having differing opinions, the group think, the whole. He's like, it's a cult. And he's right. He's 100% right.
Yeah.
It's just hard to say because then people in the cult will attack you. But they're not attacking you for a reasonable, it's not logical, like the way they're attacking you. They're attacking you like someone attacks religious beliefs.
Yeah.
And some of these religious beliefs, it gets into these weird gray areas, like trans people in women's bathrooms. Like, says who?
Yeah.
Says who? How do you know that's a real trans person? How do you not know that's a fucking creep that wants to pull his dick out in front of kids? Because those are real.
We spa.
Yeah. And if that guy was a convicted sex offender.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was doing that. Look, those guys are real. It doesn't mean trans people aren't real also, but those guys are fucking real.
Yeah.
And to even say that those guys are real, you get excommunicated. You get treated like you're a Nazi.
I never even cared about it.
Didn't care at all.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you are, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, I can't do it anymore.
I think it's engineered. I really
By
do.
who?
By China and by Russia.
Oh, no, Chinese.
Yeah, I think what they're doing by manipulating social media, manipulating algorithms, I think some of it is natural. Don't get me wrong. I think some of it would.
All right, so he goes on for a bit longer. Obviously, that's where the clip ends. But it is, I think, illuminating to see them kind of come around to this. I'm in the middle now. I never thought I'd say that. It only happened in the last year. I can't take it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Which to me means like they've been feeling like their own side has been leaving them behind for quite a while. And sorry, go ahead. Well, I just wanted to address something in the chat. Rye Guy for Life says these people are just trying to get on the right side. They don't care about us. He also don't trust any of these influencers, and no one. I don't trust them either. I mean, this isn't a matter of trusting them or taking their word as gospel on any subject, or even telling you to go listen to them or pay any attention to them. That's not the point. The point is that these are people that were not on our side, or were acting or saying things from a different perspective to their audience for a long time, and now they're starting to say things that are going to maybe wake some people up. You know, they're a voice that can reach people that maybe someone like Tien and I, or Donald Trump, or a Charlie Kirk, or Steve Bannon, like they would immediately dismiss people like us saying things like that. Joe Rogan, or I don't know the name of the guy that he was talking to there, but these are left-leaning people that have big audiences, many of them independents and liberals that listen to them regularly. And when they say this stuff, when it comes from that source, it's much more likely to land on their ears differently than if I were to say it, or Donald Trump were to say it, or someone like that. So again, it's not about trusting them or liking them or anything like that. For me, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, look at the change in attitude, look at the change in perspective, look at the change in rhetoric. Who's listening to this? Who's hearing this? Right? I mean, that's what I get from it. And for me, I'm not going to chastise them or give them shit for how they saw the world in the past necessarily. I'm going to continue to cheer them on as they go through their awakening process, and hope that they continue to say things that are based and planted more in reality than they might have in the past. Because again, Joe Rogan, how many millions and millions and millions and millions of people tune into him every single day? Belushi says Bobby Lee is the other comedian. He also has a big podcast, right? So there you go. You're starting to get these people that are in entertainment, Hollywood, on the stand-up comedian circuit, that have just way different audiences than, again, like a Steve Bannon on the War Room. They're starting to get these ideas into the consciousness of people that it otherwise would not hit. So be appreciative of this, and not everything needs to be through the lens of like, is this guy a shill, or what's he doing,
Puritan,
or
Puritan,
yeah,
the Puritan measure. That's
yeah, yeah. It doesn't. Not everything needs to be that way. But again,
no.
you guys obviously you could say what you want. I just think it's a toxic mindset to go into these things with that attitude. But
Okay.
that was me personally. Go ahead, Tian.
No, okay. So everybody has their awakening moment.
Mhm.
Everybody does. What will awaken that individual may not be one singular item. It may be that singular item that actually finally put him over the edge, so to speak, the straw and the camel, right? Kind of
Mhm.
concept, right? So if you look at Rogan, and I go back to when he did ivermectin and how he was pummeled, that was an awakening moment for him.
Sure. Or when he had Dr. Peter McCullough on, or Dr. Robert Malone, and had got absolutely attacked by
Exactly,
all
exactly. So,
yeah,
so those are straws if you look at it, whether the final straw or not, but they're straws.
right.
And the other one is Tim Pool. If you go back Tim Pool early and look at Tim Pool today, right? Who's another one that has a large following. Then I'll give you the opposite. Yesterday we went over this a little bit. When 18% of the people polled said that they will follow the recommendation of Taylor Swift, what these people say matters,
Yeah,
whether you believe it or not. And as long as they're speaking reality, it matters.
yeah, 100%,
It may
Tian.
not matter to us because we're on the, as Belushi knows, we're on the leading edge. We're past the information flagpole on the train.
Yep.
But there's a boatload of people that are still behind in the cars behind on the train. And it's people like Rogan, people like Tim Pool, it's people like the others that are out there that have a following. Even what's his name? Oh shoot, Russell Brand,
Hmm.
right? Am I going to vote for these people to run for office? No. Are we going to support them, let's just say, in one way or another? No, not necessarily. But when they turn around and they're speaking truth, celebrate it.
100% agree. 100% agree. What's up, Pinata? How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Just running a little bit late today. I had a couple things I wanted to wasn't able to do a show yesterday and wasn't able to do my normal time slot today, so I had to rush something out there just to have it on the record. Some E. Jean Carroll crap. Um, but yeah, otherwise doing all right.
Good, man. Good.
Finally got my the monkey off my back with the work stuff, so I feel a lot better today.
Good, man. Good to hear. Glad you're walking around a bit lighter today, so that makes me happy. Did you have any thoughts on the Joe Rogan video, or any clips or anything you wanted to share with us?
I don't think I saw the clip, but I know based on your conversation, it's like it's the same thing we are talking about with Vivek. You know, it's like I'm just glad someone can say that on corporate news media or say that on CNN. What he's saying, you don't have to support him, but you support the fact that people are speaking truth on a particular subject. Will they always speak truth forever? I don't know, but that's why you hold people accountable on as their performance with
See,
each performance.
yeah. This goes to something. There was a video of Vivek on an interview that he did, which was a rather cerebral type discussion. And there's some points that I disagree with him in the limited fashion that he was viewing things, right? Like there's no larger group out there, no cabal is what we refer to it, right? He didn't see that. He just saw a common ideology from the left in what he called the managerial class, which I refer to it as more like Bannon refers to it as the administrative class, right? The administrative state, because the administrative aspect encompasses both the public and the private sector, and he's from the private sector, i.e., Vivek, so he calls it managerial, right? You can miss the view the thing; they mean the same thing, but one's broader than the other. But anyways, it was cerebral. It was over like 28 some odd minutes long, but you had to pay attention what was being said. It wasn't a 30-second clip that that you can run away with. And
Mhm.
unless you listen to the whole thing, then you won't understand and you won't comprehend, and you have to then look at what is he saying. Is he speaking truth or is he not speaking truth? In my case, I interpret it as he's speaking truth. It was just limited. He didn't go far enough in explaining, but what he explained was truthful. We understand that there's a common ideology to the worker bees because they get hired by people, and then you have the hierarchies that fit into that, right? And if you follow the hierarchy, you go into WEF, and there's a hierarchy within the WEF. There's a hierarchy within the European Union, and it's of like mind, and they're going to hire people of like mind. We've seen that in many different cases. So, but you have to, if we go, and this is what I'm saying, if you go through everything through a Puritan test, nobody except Christ is going to fulfill that.
Absolutely. Well said, Tien. Really well said. Um, cool. Again, Pinata, did you have anything that you wanted to play today, or should I go
Um,
ahead and have next?
I didn't have anything. Are you gonna cover the weird arrest and video that that guy put out with the message from Pennsylvania? Did you hear about
Mm,
this?
no. Oh, I heard about it very vaguely. I didn't take time to get into it. But this is
Okay.
the guy like beheaded his dad or something,
Yeah.
and mainstream's trying to say he's like QAnon or whatever.
Well, it was really interesting. Is there's a clip of when they brought it up. It's actually might be worth showing if you don't mind,
Yeah, go ahead.
because it was Andrew McCabe of all people had to dance around then not blame this on and not blame it on Trump. Specifically did not mention Trump on this, and I find that really odd. But here's the thing: is that the video itself, I actually saw it because I knew that it was going to be taken down. So I just happened to be on social media when it started getting blown up before they took everything down, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stomach this, and I'm going to watch this and see exactly what he says because then that because I know what the mainstream news media was going to do with it. They were going to make it, oh, it's anti-Biden, anti this. The guy was anti-government 100%. It didn't matter. He was not. It was not. He was indiscriminate as far as who he was talking about. But of course, what do the Cryons say that says, oh, he was critical of it was an anti-Biden rant. No, it was anti-government, and it was very clear. No one was spared, including Trump, which is why they can't really hide it because I think enough people saw what was going on with this that it's but we'll see what they do with it. They're also starting to ramp up the messaging from Ray that the infrastructure and critical infrastructure is being hacked and hacked and targeted by the Chinese. They're really ramping up this whole, and they're saying the threat is the lone person, the this and that. It's not going to be the January 6th. It's going to be the lone thing. And so, and of course, even in the guy's own video, he even mentioned that he had been visited by the FBI a couple times. Shocker, I know. So here's a little bit about this story because I feel like they're going to use this. So just in case people miss this, but yeah, if it turns out to be true, I'll tell you what, that's pretty freaking horrific. I'll tell you that it'll be something. It didn't like really burn me or burn in my brain or whatever, but it's still something. Just so beside myself a little bit.
We do have breaking news just into CNN. We want to warn you, this is very disturbing. A Pennsylvania man was charged with murder and abuse of a corpse after police say he posted a YouTube video in which he claims to show his father's decapitated head while ranting about the Biden administration and the border crisis. Now, this video circulated online for hours before being taken down. The father of the individual was a federal employee. His son called him a traitor. With us now, former FBI Deputy Director and CNN Senior Law Enforcement Analyst Andrew McCabe and CNN's Danny Freeman. Danny, I want to start with you. This is breaking right now. What more do we know about what actually happened here?
Yeah, Phil, and just to state the obvious, obviously, as you said, this is an incredibly disturbing story. I watched part of this video last night, and it's one of those things that it's an image you just can't get out of your head. Yesterday, this is when this all started. This video was posted on YouTube. The suspect here is Justin Moan. He's 32 years old. He's from Middletown Township in Pennsylvania. That's in Bucks County. And as you said, this video contains a number of rantings basically about the Biden administration, about the border. At one point, even declaring himself the acting president under martial law. But then there's this horrific moment when he appears to show.
So outside of himself declaring on the camera that he was now the de facto president of the United States, he then started issuing bounties on people like Bill Barr, like people just general like cabinet positions or attorney general level positions. And then he also said that he gave an ultimatum to all federal employees to quit, or that they're going to have the same fate. And then he lifted the bag with the supposed decapitated head back on camera, and then and then went on to just talk about anti-government this, anti-this, where we obviously there's dereliction of duty. He even said that if Trump were to do this, he would still be against Trump with this. Like it was very clear that he was not just saying this is coming from someone that's like a Trump supporter. And so because of that, it's very interesting to see how Andrew McCabe deals with this question. So I guess I'll just, here, I'll just go.
Show the head of his deceased father on camera, saying that his father was a traitor to the country because he was a federal employee. Now, that video, like you said, Phil, stayed up for a long time. Eventually, later into the evening, YouTube was able to take it down. Even X seemed to be taking down videos that people were just reposting and reposting. But then in the evening, police were able to apprehend Mr. Moan about 100 miles away from his home in Bucks County in Fort Indiantown Gap in Pennsylvania. Again, that's 100 miles to the west of where he was and where this crime is alleged to have been committed. Now, I will say, just to give you a sample of one of the things that Mr. Moan said, and I'm quoting here from the video, he said in part, "The federal government of America has declared war on its citizens and the American states. America is rotting from the inside out as far left woke mobs rampage our once prosperous city." Now, still, the thing that law enforcement are trying to make clear at this moment is that this suspect is in custody. The threat to the larger community is over right now, but truly a community on edge, you can imagine, after hearing this news. We're going to hear a press conference from the Bucks County District Attorney later on today on this subject.
Andy, this video was...
So this is where they usually throw to their political operative here, McCabe. Now, you guys are going to be shocked to hear how he dances around this. I don't think I've ever seen something like this, where they could immediately have some sort of a media victory or something, or an accusation against Trump, and they don't take it. And it's really odd to hear. You'll notice it right away how odd this feels when he responds. So here we go.
It references President Biden. It was up on YouTube, as I understand it, for several hours before it was taken down. Talk about the bigger picture here, if you could.
Sure. Yeah. So the bigger picture is extremely concerning, I think, as do most security officials, as we go into what will be an incredibly heated political season. You know, obviously this guy, we don't know. We're waiting on additional facts from the investigation to understand his specific motives. You can make some assumptions based on his claims in the video that he's been motivated by politics. But, you know, I think that the bigger picture here is that this is another example of the fact that the kind of overheated, deeply politicized, extreme rhetoric that you hear sometimes in this country from politically elected officials and leaders actually has an impact on these marginalized people with extremist views who might be, because of their mental illness or their disturbance or their unbelievably strong beliefs in some of these things, driven to embark in acts of violence. You know, some of the things that he has said on the video, allegedly referring to woke mobs and things like that. That's not dissimilar from rhetoric that you hear from some politicians that we've heard recently in the primary season from some folks specifically. So this kind of language has an effect on the extremist, on the most extreme, most vulnerable, most potentially dangerous part of our population. And I think it's something that most security officials are really concerned about. You know, Poppy, like the odds are, if we experience political violence in this year around the presidential election, it's not going to look like January 6th. It's not going to look like a massive mob of people that's organized and compelled to come together at our nation's capital or any state capital. It's going to look like individuals who decide that based on their extreme beliefs, they have to act out on their own. And that seems to be what we have here.
It's an incredibly
I mean, you feel the tension in that, right? He had so many
Well,
opportunities to say Trump or allude to Trump, and he was very even. I'm surprised.
well,
You referenced,
but you're talking to a CNN audience, so it's not he's. But
I
I
don't
think,
know. With McCabe, he usually doesn't wait to go after Trump.
well, the reason, and I believe the reason is because you can go back to Biden in front of the Centennial Hall on July 4th. You look at that, and it's that rhetoric. So it's kind of funny that he brings out the way that he brought it out, and I agree with you that it was measured, because he couldn't point it to one particular one, although he was insinuating the campaign trail and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
You also had Biden coming out and making in his latest speech in South Carolina. So I find it quite interesting that they danced around and try to spin it from the people have had enough. And yeah, it's going to be individuals. And he's talking about, I like his choice of words of organized, being facetious, organized on January 6th. January 6th wasn't organized. The rally was organized. After that, it wasn't. None of the January 6th was organized other than the rally.
Well,
right?
no, that mean the pipe bomb was definitely.
Well, no. Well, no.
I know.
From what he was insinuating.
I
right?
know.
Yeah, because January 6th, they don't even bring up the pipe bomb, right? It's all what happened at the Capitol building.
Isn't that interesting though that they never bring it up, even though that would be such a narrative win for them?
Well, if you watch Bongino, this is why they're not bringing it up, because Bongino's all over it, over it.
Darren Beatty over at Revolver.
Yeah, Beatty as well as his. Bongino's been leveraging Beatty reporting as well. So yeah, I'm not saying Bongino adds his personal contacts perspective. Right? But yeah, and this is just one angle of what they're using. Notice that Rogan also, in a way, and I'm putting it on Rogan, he's bringing up China with this, and then I found it interesting that Jesse Waters brought up MK Ultra, not related to this guy, but just in general, the MK Ultra aspect of it, right? So things like that are percolating across the board. And then there was a hearing. It's all these dots that they may not seem to connect, but they do. Then you had the hearing on the election, and the security experts that McCabe was referring to, in a way, from police, but the other ones, talking about the CCP being involved in affecting our elections. And then they come out and say, but let me make sure that you understand that this elections process is secure. It's just that they're just trying. They will try, but it's secure. And I'm going, this is exactly what Obama said in 2016. There's no way that the elections can be hacked. They're setting it up so. And then you had Clinton just the other day coming out and basically saying that it's the right wing that's going to cheat. They're going to steal the election. She says that. They're setting up the narrative for blaming China, colluding, and China and the right wing involved in cheating the 24 election because they cannot win. This is part of it. This
Yeah.
whole little thing right here, whether the guy was in on it, MK Ultra or whatever trigger, it's irrelevant. Well, it's relevant, but I mean, it's relevant from this point. They will capitalize upon it.
Yeah, well, Tian, let me bring this point to you here. So they have like this guy James Carville come on and really amp up. Is this maybe could be why McCabe thinks that he needs to be even keeled about this, because they themselves have been riling their own people up. Just check this out.
Well, it's because MSNBC doesn't respect their audience. They're not putting on a show to inform their viewers. It's a brainwashing op. Trump's Hitler, Biden's young, crime's down. A network that respects its audience let the audience watch live news. But MSNBC doesn't let you watch Trump live. Maddow says it's too dangerous. The network can't handle it, and neither can the audience. But that's causing some division in the ranks at MSNBC. Jen Psaki just got a new show, and she wants more Trump.
I said this, and I'm a believer in this, and a lot of people have kind of weighed in on this question recently on whether or not we should be talking about Trump more or less, right? Because there was a debate. Do we show his speeches? Do we talk about all the crazy things he's doing? And I'm of the view we have to talk about the crazy things he's doing, even if we're tired of it.
It's a liberal catfight. Maddow wants no Trump. Psaki can't get enough. Even though the goal's the same, go after him with a meat cleaver.
I would tell the president and his campaign this: we got your back, dude. We're going after him with a meat cleaver. You cannot let him up. You can't normalize him. You can't let him off the canvas, not for 1 second. We got to keep the foot on this guy, right on his neck, take our heel and twist it, and never let it up.
Take the heel and twist it.
Yeah. It's all part of the same rhetoric, and you're right. It may be one of the reasons that McCabe took, but he was referring to people on the campaign trail, and you're right. I'm not disputing at all what you brought out there, Pineda. It's an aspect that the ones that are ramping up the furor, ramping it up, is the left. The people that are presumably that this guy is pointing out are people that have had enough with the government. Now, I don't know if he did what he did. I mean, go back to what was her name? I forget now, but the one that held up the severed head of Trump, right? The comedian.
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin, right? Okay. They didn't make any issue out of that, did they? Now, granted, it was an effigy versus allegedly a real thing here with the guy's head, but it's like, dude, and it says, oh, horrific, I've never seen, things like that. It says, oh, you never seen any video game? You never seen any movie? Beheadings happen all the freaking time, right? So, the reason, sorry, I know I'm on a rant here, but my point is that they're amping up because they know they're going to lose. They have to amp up because they're going to come out with the storyline that it was cheated.
Which is so funny and ironic based on, what happened.
But the people that they're trying to amp up, they're not going to think it's ironic. They're going to react to it.
Well, I think that it won't be lost on most of them as the big lie, election denier. They've put these terms and this rhetoric so ingrained in these people's minds to where, when they turn around and start election denying themselves, there's not a lot that breaks people out of their TDS or their emotionally driven nonsense. But hypocrisy, I think, is something that really, really rubs people the wrong way and can snap people out of the trance that they're in. And after hearing this stuff over and over and over and over again for 4 years, to see those same people come out and then participate in essentially the same behavior, I think will strike a chord in a good way with a lot of people. Where they're going to be met with a lot more eye roll and dismissal than actual agreements on a lot of that stuff. That's my
but
there's a few things people hate more than a hypocrite, and these people come up as major hypocrites.
I'll disagree with you in this respect. I'm not to a number, yes. To some people will see it, the more sensible individuals, but that's why they're starting now. They're conditioning the people now.
Yeah.
Why would, before the nomination of the Republican Party, Clinton come out and basically said the right wing's going to steal it? They're conditioning the people for November 5th, November 6th, November 7th.
I don't disagree.
At that point is, see, when we were looking at 2020, it was after the election.
That's not true. We were talking about mail-in ballots and how they're ripe for fraud.
We were. Not their side. Not their side.
Not their side, but
that's
again,
the point.
No,
but that's the point. It's not our side that has to be. Our side is not going to perceive it as cheating because we see the numbers, we see the reality, we see the polls, we see the reaction, we see our friends, we talk to our friends, we see the people that have had enough. Their side doesn't. Their side doesn't look at polls. Their side, they ignore the polls that they see. They're watching the CNN, the MSNBC, and the other crap that you see from the Democrats in Capitol Hill. That's what I'm talking about, Adel. I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah, and I guess I guess my point is it's only going to work on about 20% of the country. I don't think it's going to work on the vast majority of people. Even I would say the majority of people who do vote for Biden aren't going to believe it. They're not going to buy into it. They're going to roll their eyes at it because of what they've seen for the past 4 years from these same people, and how elections shouldn't be questioned and you shouldn't be doing that. Even if they do try to prime them, it'll work on, like I said, maybe 20-25% of the electorate. But I think the majority, even of Biden voters, are going to dismiss that bullshit pretty offhand. I think that's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, the question in my mind is an aspect of how many does it take to spill out on the street and be amped by the media?
I mean, I'm sure you're going to have. I mean, it happened in 2016. You had riots,
but it's going to be violent. 2016 was somewhat violent, but not very much outside of Washington.
I don't think the TDS is going to be nearly as bad by the time we get to the election. You know, when we talk about people have to see it in the plan and all that, I think a big part of that is mentally winning over many of those people that would have flooded into the streets in 2016 or mindlessly joined a protest for George Floyd or whatever it is. I think a lot of what you're going to see over the next year is those people waking up. I think that most people are going to be on board with a Trump 2024 by the time we get there. Again, if I interpreted what Q was talking about, you know, people needing to see to change and whatnot, that this is the process. This is the huge point of it, is to get to a point where there's not this civil unrest when it comes down to it. Otherwise, why not just do it in 2016 or better yet in 2012 and just arrest Obama and everybody then? You know, like the whole point of this was to avoid that. If we're going through all of this, allowing the country to come within a breath of dying, just to take it back, and you're still going to get the same kind of civil unrest. I don't know, man. I feel like they're starting now because they're desperate right now already, and they know they're losing people, and they're grasping at straws to try to hold on of some semblance of an integrity, some semblance of legitimacy, and keep people hooked. But they're not. But I don't think that they're going to be able to, especially as more and more comes out throughout 2024. I think, like I said, other than that very far left, completely gone, you know, 10 to 20% that we were told about, I think the rest of the country is not going to be buying the bullshit that they're selling. You know, I think way less than in 2016 and even way less than in 2020 during the Floyd stuff. I think all of that nonsense is dying, and the people buying into it is dying. If that's not the point of all this, I don't get it. I'm very confused as to what the point of any of it is.
But remember that
this long drip, take 8 fucking years for this plan. to go through. I don't understand what the point of the slow burn nature of it is if you're still going to have massive civil unrest when the time finally comes. I mean, to me, they should have just done this a long time ago.
Yeah, well, but again, the point is what your goal is. So it's either it's the tension and the prevention aspect of it, true. But remember that even Trump gets elected, he doesn't have any power, right? So it would be the same people that were expect to act would have to act even though Trump is elected, because he has no power at that point in time. And that the whole thing about he's still being commander in chief and all that kind of stuff, putting that aside because that's just a theory, right? The reality is, if the shit hits the fan across the country in multiple cities, the reaction will be from Biden's side, not from Trump's side, because he has no power. So that's what I'm getting at, and I understand your point about allowing it to happen. I'm not sure it's an aspect of allowing it to happen. It's more or less the slow boil revolution that has to happen.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I'm not worried about rhetoric or them prep or them trying to prep their audiences to not believe the election results. Again, that'll work on a small amount of the population, but I think 80%, and I would say even the majority of people that are going to go and vote for Biden aren't going to be following along, or at least looking at
Biden. You keep
whoever it is.
It won't be Biden.
I'm using Biden as
no, I understand that, but
right now. But the point is that whoever these people go to vote for, if and when they do lose, I don't see the majority of them going along with the election deniers on the left, because they've been told for 4 years that election denialism is a terrible, horrible thing. And I don't think they're going to be able to just flip on that instantly like that. I just really don't see it.
If they turn around and they have somebody that they absolutely love, just as the people that absolutely love Trump, would you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'd feel the exact same way. I'd feel the exact same way, regardless of who the candidate is. These people that have been following the mainstream media on both sides, have been hearing about election deniers, insurrectionists, election deniers, insurrectionists. To deny an election is being an insurrectionist. It's been beaten into their heads for 4 years. So when the tables turn and all of a sudden all these people that were telling them that are now being election deniers, I think they're going to completely lose these people. Most of them. There's going to be, like I said, about 20% of the country that's completely fucking insane and will always listen to Rachel Maddow as a source of legitimate information. But I think most people are fair-minded enough to be able to see that hypocrisy, especially having it beaten into them. It's not like it's like one story that went away, after a couple of months. This is something that they have been harping on nonstop since November 10th, about a week after we all went and voted in 2020. So I don't think it's going to work. But we do have to take a break here. We do have to take a break here and go exclusively to pilled.net for the second half of today's show. So those of you guys watching on Rumble, YouTube, DLive, Odyssey, CloudHub, and Twitter, we'd love to continue hanging out with you all over in the comfy bunker. It's super easy to get there. I'm going to put the link to the show in the Rumble chat. It's also in the Rumble video description down below the stream. If you guys want to just go ahead and expand that or open it up on your phone, click the link. It'll take you right on over there. I'll put it in the DLive chat as well. Yeah, if those of you watching on the other platforms, if you don't have the link, it's really easy. Just go to pilled.net. Pilled.net. On the left-hand side of the screen, if you're on desktop, you'll see all the live channels. Ours is 412 Productions. If you're on mobile, all the live channels are across the top in a little horizontal scrolling bar. You just go ahead and click on the 412 Productions logo. It'll bring you right on in to the broadcast. I'm going to play a quick little video, and then we'll come back on the other side. We'll read your super chats and continue on for the second half of the show. There's a lot of different ways we can go. So I'll throw out some of the different stories I have, and we'll kind of decide together which ones we want to cover, because there's no way we're gonna get to everything I have in my stack of stuff today. So without further ado, a little message from our friends at Pilled, and we'll be right back.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@Pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back and about to shut off these other platforms. So again, one last chance for you guys to get on over to Pilled.net and join us in the comfy bunker. Links are again in the Rumble live chat. I put it in the live chat. It's also in the description. I put it in the DLive live chat as well. So please come on over, hang out with us. We got another hour of content for you all. If you're not going to make it over, no worries, my friends. We will be back tomorrow. At least I will, with Zach Payne and Frankie Val for Taking It Back. And that'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. But again, we are going for another hour over on Pilled.net. So come over and find us there. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, so let's shut these off.